Okay, call this regular council meeting for September 24th, 2019 to order. Clerk, call the roll.
Ms. Metz?
Here.
Mr. Lee?
Here.
Ms. Hermes?
Here.
Mayor Moore?
Here.
Ms. Walker?
Here.
Mr. Halter?
Here. Okay, we have a prayer by Maria Walter.
Lord, we ask you to send your spirit of servanthood upon all of us gathered here this evening to do your work for the benefit of all in our community. We ask you to bless our elected and appointed officials so they may deliberate with wisdom and act with courage. Bless the members of our community who come here to speak before council so they state their cause with honesty and humility. Lord, we ask you to bless us all, and that everything we do here tonight will move you to welcome us one day into your kingdom as good and faithful servants. We ask this in the name of our brother Jesus. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have the minutes of the regular council meeting of August 27th, the work session for September the 10th, and the public hearing also at that council meeting on the 27th. Any corrections or additions?
There were
Changes?
several corrections on names, so I think that they're aware of that now.
What was that?
Corrections with
Oh,
names.
Okay. Okay, all right. Minutes are approved. Before we have citizens to address council, we've got a couple things I'd like to take care of. And I'll let the chief go first.
Thank you. Mayor and Ms. Kovac, would you kindly join me in front? And officers Lynn, Hoff, and Bacon, please come forward. Oftentimes in the world of public safety, we're called upon to save lives. Typically this happens a lot when paramedics respond, but oftentimes our first responders are police officers. And in the case of Officers Rob Ledenhoff and Officer Dave Bacon, that's exactly what happened. And coincidentally, one incident happened on July 14th, one happened on July 15th. And because of the actions taken by these two officers, in consultation with our supervisory staff and our municipal manager and our mayor, both officers have been awarded the Preservation of Life Award. And these are awarded to police officers Robert W. Lenhoff and police officer David M. Bacon. And the verbiage is the same. And to both of you, it's for taking action that directly resulted in the saving of another person's life on July 14th and 15th, and acting in accordance with the highest ideals of professional service. Your actions reflected outstanding police work, displayed initiative, capability, and attention to duty that earned the respect and admiration of your colleagues and the citizens of our city. And this is awarded this 24th day of September 2019 by David B. Moore, the mayor of Greenhills, Yvonne Kovac, our municipal manager, and by me as your chief of police. So I'm going to ask our mayor and municipal manager if they would please present those to each of you. Congratulations. Thank you. Just to fill you in a little bit on the details, in the case of Officer Lenhoff, he responded on July 14th. In the F section, the patient was found slouched over a table in the living room. Breathing sound was very labored, and the patient had a slight blue color to his skin. Another officer helped get the patient to the floor in case CPR was needed. Shortly after being moved, the patient's breathing completely stopped. And that's when Officer Lenhoff started CPR. The patient began breathing again after 8 to 10 compressions, and then the medics arrived and the patient became alert. In the case of Officer Bacon, he responded to the B section in reference to an unconscious female Upon arrival, he located the female in the back seat of a vehicle parked in the garage. The officer pulled the female out of the vehicle and immediately started CPR. Officers continued CPR until a member of the squad took over, and then the patient became conscious and alert. And the sad part of that was that a 10-year-old daughter was the one who located the mother unconscious in the vehicle. So I'm convinced without the quick action of both of these officers, 2 of our residents would not be alive today. So we stand very much in their debt. Thank you again.
And I have one thing that I'd like to present to a former council member, if he can sneak his way up here. Sure. He's left us, we'll give him a plaque of, will say thank you for your service to the village of Greenhills as a member of village council from January the 1st, 2006 to August 31st, 2019.
Wow.
Lynn, thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot. And we would like you to come back and help with the light up Christmas time.
I can do
Do you
that.
have some other things?
I've got more time on my hands evidently now. I do have a couple remarks that I'd like to make.
Good.
That'd be fine.
And I'll let you make those remarks.
Great. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for the opportunity to speak tonight. I was hoping to be here last month, but I had a conflict. Greenhills has been home for Barb and me for 35 years. It's a wonderful place to raise a family. Our children are grown and gone now, and it's time to start the next chapter for our life. I want to thank the voters for electing me 4 times to village council. It's been an honor to serve. The village is in great shape. We have public safety services that are doing an outstanding job, as you just witnessed. Greenhills Police Department is CLIA accredited, law enforcement agency, and has fantastic leadership under Chief Fertelman. I would encourage you to continue to support that CLIA accreditation. None of you do police work full-time, and it's a great way to have an extra set of eyes on our police department. Our fire department is fantastic. They're well-trained, all volunteer, and deserve our community's ongoing support. Chief Spaeth and his department are quite honestly awesome. Our service department is thinly staffed, but always finds a way to keep the roads paved and plowed and our parks in great shape. Mike Castor does a great job leading that department. Financially, I don't think I could always say this, but we are on very solid ground. The budget's established for next year. The debt's been reduced over the last several years, and capital spending is planned for several years in the future. Yvonne, the village manager, is doing a great job leading all these areas. We have a fantastic law firm in Wood and Lamping. They care about this community deeply. They have great institutional knowledge, and they're a steady hand when things come at us unexpectedly. We were hopeful to sell our house on Carini to a family that could raise a young family like we did. I want to tell you we were successful. It was a joy to be at closing, and we're excited that Alex and Robert and their 3 kids are now at age 17. I want to thank a few people specifically. I got to serve with 3 fantastic mayors. Aki Hoffman, the guy eats, sleeps, and breathes Greenhills. His blood probably is green. And when you're a newly appointed council member, as several of you know, you really are somewhat clueless the first few meetings. And when you sit next to him and you say, "What's going on?" or "Help me with this," it was a very comforting start. It was great to serve with Fred and also with Dave Moore. I got to serve with some great municipal managers, and my time with Yvonne Kovac was fantastic. Like I said, when you first start, you're not really sure what's going on part of the time. So Aki was on my left and Chris Visnich was on my right. She was the one that encouraged me to serve, and I'm forever grateful. I want to tell the village residents that they're in great hands with this council. They're good people, they're neighbors, And someday, just like me, they won't be on council anymore. And they represent you well, and they really care about this community. They have the best interests of the community at heart. They have special talents and skills that they bring to the job when they serve. And so thank you all for the time to serve. I'm humbled to have been able to serve. And I'll be around. We're only 5 miles down the road. And I still will frequent plenty of businesses here. If you need help with Light Up, I'm happy to do that, or any other thing else. So thanks so much. I'm greatly appreciative of my time here. Thank you.
Thank you. And thanks a lot for everything you've done, Glenn.
Sure.
And I don't know if we have Santa Claus lined up for Christmas, but I see your hair is starting to change colors, and so maybe you can grow a beard. And you can come back each year as Santa Claus then.
I'll take white hair.
Good.
I'll take anything.
No, you've been really good for the village. All right, moving on, citizens to address council. This is the time for citizens to comment on matters before council. When recognized, please come forward to the lectern, give your name, address, state your comments or questions. This is not intended to be a dialogue with council or village staff. If you have questions, the questions will be recorded and referred to the manager's office for a response. This will allow time for thoughtful and thorough consideration to be given to each question. Council meetings are recorded for ease of transcription. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Anyone? Oh, all right.
Sign in, but
Sign in. We don't have the sign in?
anyway, I'll remember to sign in.
Okay.
I'm Todd Bricker, and I live at 2 January Court in Greenhills. And on September the 14th, it was my pleasure to attend the personal safety self-defense course put on by our local police department. And I thank Chief Furman for having the community programs, and I hope they continue. And we had the instructor, Officer Zachary Clark, who's a state certified self-defense instructor, and he conducted the class, but we had the chief here to provide additional insight from his years of training and experience. And before the end, Officer Philip Means came by and assisted Officer Clark with some more physical demonstrations. And if there's ever a chance that they offer that again, I wholeheartedly encourage anyone and everyone in the village to take advantage of that. And that's all I have to say.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I thought I saw your photograph in that class. Yeah. Okay, moving on, reports of village officials, municipal manager, Yvonne Kovac.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few things I want to update you on. The advantage of.
Right.
And we have now been successful in getting our funding for Winton Road Phase 3. Yay, long time in coming, but they've pieced it together for us. We're still waiting to hear on one more grant, but the package will be ready. The engineers do hope to get the project out to bid late November, early December, and they do intend to put in there anything they can start in the winter would be good. We know we have to do some grinding just to get the road through the winter, so we'll be trying to move full speed on that to get something going there. So that was good news. Leaf collection, unfortunately, it's that time of the year, and leaf collection will start on October 7th. Don't know how many leaves will be down at that point, but they will start on October 7th. I wanted to give you an update on 11 Bachman, which did finally sell in a sheriff's sale. So thank you, Jeff Forbes, for helping us move that process along. That home, if you remember, sat vacant for a number of years and was very tax delinquent. So rather than have one of our historic homes sit in that condition, we pushed to get it to sheriff's sale. And they succeeded. It does appear to be an investor, but they only have a limited number of houses, and they don't know at this point if they're going to do it for rental or to flip it. So this all just occurred like in August 15th, I think, is when the title was conveyed. So keep you posted on that. And that's all I have right now. I think.
Okay, thanks. And hopefully they'll get the Winton Road finished south of us,
Oh, they're supposed to be.
so we can then delay traffic. Well, put up a toll booth.
Did
Get
they
that.
get the bridge paved? They were supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
Did they get it paved?
I
The
don't think,
bridge?
it wasn't paved when I came
Okay.
back this
Maybe
morning.
it's over the weekend they're gonna do it. They're
Yeah.
supposed to be doing it really soon.
They've got a nice speed bump there, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, they do.
Several of them.
Yeah. Okay, Law Director Jeff Forbes.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of items tonight. Wanted to give you an update on a bill of municipal interest, House Bill 288, that is working its way through pretty quickly. This is essentially a bill that preempts municipal eminent domain authority. Eminent domain is the ability for any governmental agency to take property for a public purpose, while of course paying fair market value for that property. And that's essentially governed by the Ohio Constitution and the Ohio Revised Code. This bill that was introduced it specifically intends to change what would constitute a public purpose to be able to take property by now prohibiting property from being taken if it is for the purpose of providing what was defined as a recreational trail. And that could mean hiking trail, bike trail, horse trail, ski touring, to the extent that we have a lot of that in Ohio. Yeah, and essentially any other non-motorized form of recreational travel. And the reason, and the Ohio Municipal League has taken a great interest in this, and the reason is because it appears that this bill was introduced, and it is essentially because there is a particular project in somewhere in northeast, yeah, in the Cleveland area, northeast Ohio, where some folks are unhappy about the potential use of eminent domain for a specific type of trail. And so rather than let that process play out the way it's supposed to under the statute and with the court involvement as the statute provides, a representative decided to introduce a bill that would essentially prohibit municipalities, and as I understand it, only municipalities. It only applies to municipalities from taking property if it's for the purpose of a recreational trail. That's never been the case before. Municipalities have always been able to acquire property for, in fact, it's fairly common that on a road widening project where you may have to acquire additional right-of-way, that you acquire a little bit more for the installation of a bike trail next to the road. So that's pretty common. This bill would essentially say you're not allowed to do that anymore. And the Municipal League, rightly so, is pretty opposed to this because it appears to be, yet again, just another example of an attack on your home rule authority, your ability to, the local jurisdiction's ability to determine what constitutes a public purpose. The use of eminent domain, it's not all that common, and when it does happen, it's typically very thoughtfully done. What this essentially says is, we don't care how much you've thought about it, you can't do it for this purpose anymore. So that bill is introduced. It seems to be moving along pretty quickly. It was also introduced with an emergency provision so that even once the governor signs it, it will take effect immediately. We won't even have the normal 90 days after that. So legislative update, there you go. Once again, attacking home rule authority. Just on pending legal matters, I do have an update for you there on the State Court of Appeals case of Antoine versus the Village of Greenhills. The last time we talked, I think I told you we had argued that case to the Court of Appeals. We were waiting a decision. We have since received the decision as we requested. That appeal was dismissed, and it's over. So that case is now over, unless, of course, the appellant tries to appeal it farther to the Ohio Supreme Court. I have also, this wasn't in my report, but since I think I prepared the report, we found out that in the and one litigation in federal court, which had already been dismissed, we've found out from our insurance counsel that the time has long since passed for any other potential appeal of that case, so we're considering that case closed as well.
Good.
And that would conclude my report.
Thank you. Is there a
Comments or
deadline-
questions?
Yeah, is there a deadline for the most recent appeal that was taken care of?
There is, I mean, you have 30 days to file a notice of appeal with the Supreme Court. I'd have to look back. I don't remember exactly what day that decision came out.
Okay.
I believe that I forwarded a copy of that to council. I don't have it. I guess I probably do have it at my fingertips if I needed to look it up. But we will continue to watch to see what that timing is, to see if there's any further appeal taken.
Thank you.
Okay. Clerk of Council?
None tonight, Mayor.
Okay. Police Chief Neil Furman?
Thank you, Mayor. As was mentioned in the comments, we did recently hold our self-defense class, and the good news is we've decided to make that again immediately available, as well as our Citizens Police Academy. We've decided, rather than setting a definite date, we would wait until we had a sufficient number of residents who might be interested in taking either of those courses sign up, and then we will consult with them to see what date would be best for them, and we'll proceed. So anyone that is watching that may be interested in either a self-defense course that would roughly be 4 hours long, that will give you basic skills on how to protect yourself and your family, or attend the Citizens Police Academy, which would give you an understanding of some of the behind-the-scenes things that happen in law enforcement and the criminal justice system, please contact us. You can either call us at 513-825-2101. You can go to our website and sign up there. The forms are readily available, or ask any Greenhills officer that you see. We'd sure be happy to get both of those classes moving forward. We continue to train our own officers. Officer Eric Tricase recently attended the Ohio Narcotics Association Regional Coordinating Officers Training School from September 9th to 11th in Columbus, and that provided him instruction on conducting criminal and drug investigations. Officer Rob Lenhoff, who you saw just a little bit ago here, attended Crisis Intervention Team Training in Cincinnati from September the 16th to the 20th. He will also be attending interview and interrogation training in Green Township in October. Officer Bacon, who you also saw here, just recently attended Advanced Roadside Impaired Driving Enforcement Training in Middletown on September 18th and 19th. And then our clerk, Vonda Secoy, tomorrow will be attending Terminal Agency Coordinator Training in Green Township. And that's being conducted by instructors from the Regional Crime Information Center and the Ohio Law Enforcement Automated Data System. We had an investigation that led to an arrest, drugs, and a search warrant on September 13th. Our officers were out investigating a complaint in the F section and found several of those involved had active warrants for their arrest. One arrestee was found in the passenger seat of a motor vehicle with a cigarette pack. When officers took a look inside, they found several $100s and a plastic bag that contained a substance that tested to be crystal methamphetamine. On the following day, we executed a search warrant at that residence. An additional suspected meth was found, and we anticipate that further charges will be filed once the test results are complete. In addition to the drugs, numerous items of drug paraphernalia were confiscated, including several digital scales, which usually suggest trafficking. We had a large number of officers that were involved in the subsequent investigation of that, and our message is that if anyone wants to sell drugs in our town, we're coming for you. We'll continue to investigate, and we will continue to look into these incidents and take any actions that we can to keep our residents safe. On a more happy note, we will be spending all day at Harvest Fest, which will be coming up on Saturday, October 5th. We'll have a cruiser out there. We have wonderful volunteers from our Citizens Police Academy alumni who will be staffing our booth, and we'll have brochures and other items for any residents that come to visit us. We look forward to seeing you on that day. During the month of August, the department investigated 4 accidents, 4 crimes, and 327 other incidents. Of a total of 647 contacts, 287 of those were dispatched or received by telephone as compared to 289 last year in August, and 369 of those were self-initiated by our officers. The department provided assistance to the public in 70 instances. We assisted other agencies 44 times. We made 32 criminal arrests and 110 traffic arrests or citations. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Any questions or comments, the Chief?
I have taken the self-defense earlier, the first one, and unfortunately, I was not able to come to the second one that you have, and I would be looking forward to the third one. It's really very good to keep refreshing, so those movements will become a natural type of movement, not kind of like, okay, now I'm going to do this or that or the other. And I think that those citizens that can come and repeat that course, the most comfortable that they become with that, I think that it would be a higher percentage of success if they have to use it.
I agree.
The police academy, I took place of the first class that you had, and I also attended some of the gatherings that you had at the Troubadour having to do with drug addiction and some of the information from neighboring towns as well from that, and different chief of police. It was, if I'm not mistaken, one from Newtown that came forth, and they came from different areas as well to show us what they're doing and how they are faring with that. I would really love to see another one of those meetings again. It has been a long time since we had that, and I would like to see, compared to all coming together, what is the assessment that we have with that and the neighboring chief of police as well, if we can kind of work something in. I mean, I don't mean tomorrow, but I mean like, you know, maybe springtime or whatever.
Sure.
You can do that. That was enlightening. And also the participation of all our neighboring chief of police that were present at the time. And all, it's almost like finding that we all are fighting the battle together and kind of exchanging ideas on how best we can do that. And we also had at the time, again, if I remember correctly, a psychologist or a psychiatrist from a neighboring town that is specifically is on the recovery part of that aspect as well. So that's just a suggestion. I know that you're awfully busy and times, you know, is sometimes scarce, but thank you very much for all you do.
Thank you.
If I might, Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to make mention, and I don't mean to preempt next month's report, but Saturday morning, I was out in front of my house, and there was a car racing down Japonica and took a corner up towards Primary North on 2 wheels. I thought, you know, this person is crazy, and lo and behold, right behind him was Officer Phil Means. I didn't know it was Phil at the time, but later found that out. He was under control and apparently took control of the situation, and needs to be commended for his actions. So, good job.
Thank you, sir.
That car was stolen, by the way.
Yes, it was.
And so,
Good.
good
Yep.
job.
Okay, moving on, the mayor's report. I have the court receipts statement, state of the month of August. Total receipts were $11,723.81. State of Ohio received $2,107, Hamilton County $75. And the Village of Greenhills, $8,684.33. And so how do we get fines down to 33 cents or something? But
Well, because
Whatever.
we tack on a 4% fee
Ah.
when people pay by credit card, and that puts us into the dollars and cents.
Okay, all right. And that's all I have. Hopefully, at the next meeting, I won't have my big bandage here, but the doctor always picks the day when I have a council meeting, and I said, but I'm gonna be on TV, and it's too bad. Okay, moving on, the committee reports, intergovernmental affairs, laws and rules, Jack Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't have a committee report at this time, but I do want to make mention of the fact last month in the citizens' address to council, Dr. Patricia Bender brought up the lights at Junefield and Sharon. There are now
Yeah, I saw the Spencer light,
the
the sensor light, I saw
yeah.
that.
There's two of them there, and there is a street light on the other side. It's not very bright, but it is there. And I also noticed today that they have painted the crosswalk across Sharon, which will help visually that there's an intersection there. So it's taken care of. It was noticed. So sure.
Moving on, service and streets, Natasha Metz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Jack covered everything I was going to cover, so we're good.
Oh, okay.
You're good.
Well, I'm on your committee.
It's
too,
all
so-
good. We're a duo. That's all.
Okay, safety, Melanie K. Hermes.
We did not have a meeting, but we did discuss a couple topics in our work session earlier this month, and so when the time comes, I will have an ordinance that is regarding impounding vehicles that are in construction zones, and I'll have that coming up shortly. And also, we have a resolution amending the Village of Greenhills fee schedule, and that's for resites, which is where someone misses their court date, and if they stop at a police department, they can get a new court date. And this just charges a fee for them for the convenience of getting a new court date.
All right,
Oh, and I also attended the self-defense course. So thank you. My mother and I both attended, and officers acted a great job, and it was helped out by Officer Means, who I felt like was a little bit picked on. But also thank you to Chief Fertelman. It was a good experience, and hopefully it's something that we never have to use, but it's better to know it and never use it than need it sometime and never have learned. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mel, one clarification, that fee, the main driver behind that fee is to stop abuse of the system where people just postpone without consequences, and that part of
Yes, and also part of it is shopping around, because you can get recited for different courts, not just ours. So if you missed your court date in Mount Healthy, you could come here, and if we didn't, you could shop around and go to the police station that had the lowest or no fee. So we don't want to have that become a burden for our police officers, and also it is not something we wanted to encourage for people. If you have a court date, go to your court date. So it was a deterrent from needing a recite, but also a deterrent from us becoming the place where people come to get the recites.
Okay. All right, recreation, cable TV, Maria Walther.
For the Waycross information that I have, Chip reported that we have upgraded the production system at both Forest Park and Green Hills and the council chambers, and installing new HD cameras and support equipment. And I think that's something that was important for us in here, and both for Forest Park and for Green Hills. They have a tremendous amount of replays, so when anybody wants to catch something that they missed when it was first televised, there is a continuous repeat for that month activities. So if you feel like you want to see something or for the first time, or just because you missed something and you want to have it again, there's a tremendous ample times for that. For the recreation part, as Chief had mentioned, we have the Harvest Fest on October the 5th. So come one and come all. It's always a tremendous happy time for the fall for everybody. And we have the little doggies with the parade, and we have all the traditional things for the Harvest Fest. I'm in need of some of the volunteers for putting some of the how should I say it, infrastructure together. I had all these years, I think this is my 5th year that I do that, and I have 2 gentlemen that at this time they're not available. They have had medical problems and they're not going to be available. And there's only one short me in this situation, and I'm begging for anybody that can come. I have asked in my church, I have asked everywhere I've been, any kind of meeting I have been, so hopefully I have some kind of a support coming through. We also had my co-chair, which is Ms. Metz, that she has been also going around and trying to bring up the reinforcement, so to speak. So I will be there in the area since the early part of the afternoon of Friday. I will be receiving anybody that is coming in, anything that we can get started at that time. In the evening, it's like do or die. We would have to have it done by the time we go home on Friday night to be ready to open on Saturday morning. So if you please are listening to this, you know how to reach me, you know how to get in touch with me, knock at the door, whatever it is. I need you, all right? Thank you so much for your help all these years.
All right, and finance and audit, position's open, but do we have anything finance-wise?
I was not notified of anything new.
Okay. All right, community development, Jeff Halter.
Yes, 2 things just wanted to mention. There's also for Harvest Fest, a child parade costume contest, if I'm not mistaken, and that's a fun event to be a part of. The other thing is I met Dana Gagnon, if I'm hopefully pronouncing her name correctly. She's the government program coordinator for Waycross. And I tell you, there's got a tour of the facility, which I had a while ago, and just all the capabilities that are available to our residents there. And from student level up, they offer courses. Practically, I mean, I think the course is a minimal cost for us, being Greenhills residents, of $25 for a 3-hour course. I don't know where you can get that kind of value. But she also mentioned other possibilities that we can use as a council, that if we want to address a certain issue and meet with her and have a small, short recording, they're open to that. It's just nice to see that kind of enthusiasm and support. Jason was great, by all means. We definitely miss him, but Dana's really filling his shoes well. So that concludes my report.
Okay, all right. Under new business, I'd like someone to make a motion to concur with my appointment of Jeff Halter to the Planning Commission and to replace Glenn Dries. And I'm not totally sure how we got out of sync, but traditionally the chair of the Community Development Committee was usually on the Planning Commission also. So I think we should get back to that. So somebody.
Mr. Mayor, I move that Jeff Halter be appointed to the Planning Commission.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. All those, we don't do a poll, do we? We just say all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, all right, so Jeff's on the Planning Commission now. All right, legislation that we have an ordinance 29-01-LNR, ordinance amending the zoning code for the Village of Greenhills to amend section 1111 definitions and sections 1149.03 regarding wall signs. Mr. Lee.
Mr. Mayor, I believe this is first reading of this.
Okay, all right.
It is. First reading,
Yes.
ordinance 2019-01 LNR, An ordinance amending the zoning code for the Village of Greenhills to amend section 1111 definitions and section 1149.03 regarding wall signs. First reading.
Okay, the next one's 2019-02, L&R. An ordinance amending section 737.03 of the Village of Greenhills codified ordinances regarding registration of peddlers and solicitors. Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, this is the first reading, ordinance 2019-02 L&R, an ordinance amending section 737.03 of the Village of Greenhills codified ordinances regarding registration of peddlers and solicitors.
Okay.
First reading.
All right. Okay, 2019-03-S, ordinance amending section 303.08 of the Village of Greenhills codified ordinances regarding impounding of vehicles. Ms. Hermes.
This is also a first reading. Ordinance 2019-03S, amending section 303.08 of the Village of Greenhills codified ordinances regarding impounding of vehicles.
Okay, next one is 2019-24 CD, a resolution in support of the State of Ohio capital budget funding for connecting the West Fork Mill Creek Greenway with the great parks of Hamilton County Winton Woods Parks, completing the first leg of the Triangle Trail. Mr. Halder.
And is this a first reading as well?
No, it's a resolution.
Resolution.
So I have Resolution 24CD, resolution in support of the State of Ohio capital budget funding for connecting the West Fork Mill Creek Greenway with the great parks of Hamilton County's Winton Woods Park, completing the first leg of the Triangle Trail. Whereas the communities of Arlington Heights, Forest Park, Glendale, Green Hills, Lincoln Heights, Lockland, Springfield Township, Woodlawn, and Wyoming all share common interest in seeing greenway connections along the entirety of the West Fork Mill Creek. Whereas the right-of-way acquisitions for the greenway from the city of Wyoming to Winton Woods are complete, approximately 9 miles. And Great Parks has hired an engineering firm for the planning and development of the project. Whereas each of the communities listed recognize the benefits of trails and trail planning, which include creating healthy, thriving communities, revitalizing neighborhoods, promoting economic development and growth, providing safe recreational and transportation opportunities for all ages and abilities, helping to retain and attract residents and businesses, closing gaps in trails network, increasing individual choice of trail mode and facilitating active transportation, reducing roadway congestion, enabling extension of valuable infrastructure into northern Hamilton County, such as water, sewer, broadband, fiber, and whereas trails support the health, safety, and well-being of the general public within our communities. Now, there be it resolved that the Village of Green Hills endorses the State of Ohio capital budget funding for connecting the West Fork Mill Creek Greenway to Winton Woods project, and furthermore, supports the efforts to develop the Triangle Trail in northern Hamilton County. I move that we accept this resolution.
Second.
Okay, been moved and seconded. Any discussion or comments, questions? Okay. Maybe we should stress this with the state of the benefits of having things like this and not pass their dumb amendment.
Yes.
And possibly, maybe, I would like to think that the bikers of Ohio are aware of what the state's trying to do. Maybe we could get 85,000 bikers to descend on the house.
That would be good.
Anybody?
Bicycles.
Bicycles.
Yeah.
Bicycles. Yeah, right.
Non-motorized
I
bikes.
don't know whether the
Yes.
Hells Angels were.
The Hells
involved in
Angels.
that.
Hey, get their support. Okay. Clerk, call the roll.
Ms. Metz?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Hermes?
Aye.
Ms. Walther?
Aye.
Mr. Halter?
Aye.
Okay, resolution 24 CD passes. All right, the next one is 2019-25 F, resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. Ms. Walter.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is 2019-25F, the resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county or the auditor. Whereas the Village of Greenhills, Ohio, in accordance with the provisions of law, has previously adopted a tax budget for the next succeeding fiscal year commencing January 2020. Whereas the Budget Commission of Hamilton County, Ohio, has certified its action thereon to this council, together with an estimate by the county auditor of the rate of each tax necessary to be levied by this council, and what part thereof is without, and what part within, the 10 mil tax limitations. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Greenhills, Ohio, Section 1, that the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission in its certification be and the same are hereby accepted. Section 2, that there be and is hereby levied on the tax duplicate of said village the rate of each tax necessary to be levied within and without the 10 mil limitation as contained in Exhibit A, attached hereto, and made a part of this resolution. Section 3. This resolution shall be in full force and take effect from and after its passage. Mr. Mayor, I move to adopt this resolution.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? This is something we have to do
We have to
every
do it
year.
Every year.
So nothing has changed from basically what we did last year. Okay, clerk call the roll.
Mr. Halter?
Aye.
Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Ms. Hermes?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Metz?
Aye.
Okay, resolution 2019-25S passes. Next resolution, 2019-26-SNS, a resolution authorizing assessments on certain properties in the Village of Greenhills. Ms. Metz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution 2019-26-S&S, resolution authorizing assessments on certain properties in the Village of Greenhills. Whereas the village has given proper notice to the owners of certain real property in the Village of Greenhills regarding the removal of vegetation, refuse, garbage, and/or debris from the properties listed below, and whereas the owners of said properties did not take action to remedy the violations, and therefore the Village of Greenhills contracted to remove vegetation, refuse, garbage, and/or debris, and now seeks to collect said expenses by authorizing the placement of a lien upon the lands and collected as other taxes. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Greenhills, Ohio, Section 1, that the Village Council hereby certifies that the cost of such labor, together with the expenses relative thereto, be filed on the return and statement to the Hamilton County Commissioners as an assessment against the properties listed and placed as a lien against the properties of the Auditor of Hamilton County, Ohio, as follows. Parcel number 597-0060-0063-00, address 23 Damon Road, owner Allen, Bonnie, at a cost of $153.22. Parcel number 597-0030-0038-00, address of 1 Gambier Circle, owner of Smith, Ronald and Shonda, at a cost of $154.25. Parcel number 597-0070-0008-00, address of 17 Chalmers Lane, owner Impar LLC, cost of $154.25. Parcel number 597-0070-0232-00, address of 1 Chalmers Lane, owner of Impar LLC, cost of $107.90. Parcel number 597-0070-0232-00, address of 1 Chalmers Lane, owner of Impar LLC, a cost of $107.90. Parcel number 597-0010-0152-00, address of 101 Ireland Avenue, owner of Easy Home Buyers LLC, at a cost of $180.50. Parcel number 597-0080-0070-00, address of 32 Burley Circle, owner of Rice, Joseph, at a cost of $271.67. Parcel number 597-0080-0070-00, address of 32 Burley Circle, owner Rice, Joseph, at a cost of $153.22. Parcel number 597-0030-0212-00, address of 4 Falcon Lane, owner Mohana, Adam, cost of $77. Parcel number 597-0030-0212-00, address 4 Falcon Lane, owner Mohana, Adam, cost of $77. And finally, parcel number 597-0030-0211-00, address of 2 Falcon Lane, owner of River Road Rentals, at a cost of $164.55, for a total cost of $1,601.46. Section 2, all amounts collected as a result of this resolution shall be placed into the general fund of the Village of Greenhills. Section 3, this resolution shall be effective immediately upon its passage. Mr. Mayor, I move to adopt this resolution.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I just had
Comments?
a question. Do these reflect the actual cost of the services that we have, or do we have any administrative cost that goes against?
We have an administrative cost, and the county does as well.
Okay. It only makes sense, I mean, if we're landlording. Thank you.
Okay, clerk call the roll.
Ms. Hermes?
Aye.
Ms. Metz?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Walters?
Aye.
Mr. Halter?
Aye.
Okay, resolution 2019-26, S&S passes. Next resolution is 2019-26, oops, wait a minute, 2019-27S. Resolution amending the Village of Greenhills fee schedule. Ms. Hermes.
Yes, Resolution 2019-27S, a resolution amending the Village of Greenhills fee schedule. Whereas the village has determined that it is necessary to assess fees for certain services, and whereas council has determined that it is necessary to revise the current fee schedule. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Greenhills, Ohio, members elected thereto concurring, Section 1, that the Council of the Village of Greenhills hereby adopts the fees schedule as set forth in Exhibit A, attached hereto and incorporated herein by reference. Section 2, that all provisions of the fee schedule not specifically amended herein shall remain in full force and effect. Section 3, that this resolution shall be and is effective from and after the earliest period allowed by law. I move to adopt this resolution.
Second.
Any comments, questions? All right, hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Ms. Metz?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Hermes?
Aye.
Ms. Walters?
Aye.
Mr. Halter?
Aye.
Okay, resolution 2019-27-S has passed. And I haven't taken drugs yet for my face, so I'm not slurring because of that. All right, moving on, calendar. We have the Harvest Fest.
Harvest Fest, October the 5th.
Additionally, there's the movie night the night before, Friday night, October 4th, from 6 to 9. There will be food trucks, and we're showing Hotel Transylvania. So bring the kids, bring a chair, bring a blanket,
Bring some money.
Do I need
money
to
for the
give this
food
to
trucks.
anybody?
Come on down.
Do I need to give this to anybody?
Do we know what the movie is?
Hotel Transylvania.
The
Sorry,
first
you
one?
said that.
I believe so, yeah. The event is from 6 to 9. We will probably start the movie about 7 o'clock. And thank you to Waycross for utilizing their equipment for the movie. So.
Okay. And the next regular council meeting will be on August the 8th.
August?
Or,
Yes.
I better go get the drug.
October
The pain
8th.
is picking up. October the 8th. And we'll have a work session on October 22nd. Unless it turns out we don't have anything to cover on the work session, then we could potentially cancel that. But we'll see where we are
Okay.
by the 8th. Okay.
And also, don't forget, Halloween is coming up.
Okay. All right, nothing else, meeting's adjourned.
So,